Hi everyone, welcome back to another session of this podcast series where I always talk about my dilemma, epiphanies, realization. Actually, it's just realizations, it's just other terms of realizations that there is. So, as you can see, I think I'm just having face dysmorphia in this camera, or maybe the lighting is not giving tonight, but I have I have my laptop tonight because it's more comfortable that I have them in my lap. That's why it's called laptop. Actually, I realized that the laptop is called laptop because you needed to put the laptop on your lap. That's why it's laptop. Okay. Anyways, the specific topic that I wanted to discuss tonight is kind of wholesome, and I came to realize this because I I've just experienced so many things in the past weeks that I am not able to make podcast episodes. That's why, but it doesn't matter because I still comfort myself that it's okay to not submit at time my podcast at time because I've also been busy about things that is also important. So the topic is this. It's going to flash in your screen. Rejection is redirection. What's truly yours will not miss you. Bow. I know that a lot of y'all are often, or maybe it's your first time to hear this quote or this magnificent dilemma or epiphany, but this past weeks it really resonates with me. And I don't know why, but in this podcast I we will know why. It's like journaling but in voice way. Yeah. So this title really resonates with me, especially because it's my epiphany or realization on making decisions, taking risk, and the never-ending process of letting go. So I'm just going to read some of them because I actually write my script here, but I don't want to like attach myself on reading the script. I just wanted to have spontaneous conversations with you all as if you were talking to me, but the difference is I'm the one talking. So yeah. This past month I came to realize that I became fond of letting go, redirecting yourself from the things that wasn't really yours, and especially accepting that there are things that should not happen because obviously it is redirecting you to the things, circumstances, and people that wasn't meant to be in your life in the very first place. How am I able to explain this part to you all is it's crazy how much growth and let's say emotional or psychological maturity that I've attained or gotten in the past years that I'm here. So I realized that as I get older, I am having this kind of maturity that realizing that it's so exhausting to force yourself to the things, to the people, to even circumstances that wasn't really yours. Because in the very first place, I've realized that what's really yours, it doesn't matter if it's people, it's things, it's circumstances, It doesn't matter how simple it is. My point is, what's really yours, what's really meant for you, will not miss you. And I want you all to realize that and to reflect on that part, because holy shit, like, I journal about it and I was like, good damn. It's actually beneficial to not force ourselves to things, people, and circumstances that wasn't really for us. It creates this mentality that we can have the things that is really for us or meant for us in the right time, and also in the right version of ourselves if we are ready now to accept that, because it really makes sense. But I'm sorry, because I can't think of a specific, very specific example to give you all in that situation, because I kind of forget. Yes, actually, I should have filmed this in the past weeks. But yeah, But yeah, right? But also, I realized about this topic, this certain topic, that this topic is, again, rejection is redirection. What's truly yours will never miss you, right? I realized in this topic that it sounds cliche, right? Because I feel like, yeah, mm, I'm using the term feel like subjectively, because it's on my own opinion, on my own perspective, on my own experiences. I feel like if we always or obsessively use this quote and quote that rejection is redirection, what's really yours will never miss you. If we obsessively use this in a daily basis, it's like as if we are relying on the luck, the fate to move for us. Am I making sense? While neglecting the fact that, while neglecting the fact that we, as a human who are fond of human connections, neglecting the fact that we needed to also take the risk, to take the initiative, to take the effort to form human connection if you wanted human connection. And it's the same way in other things, like in circumstances, or if you wanted a new work, new environment, or school, right? Like, we still needed to take an initiative and effort. We don't need to be obsessively relying on this quote unquote. While it is beneficial for us, we needed to still be cautious about how we perceive this quote, right? It's as if it's a Filipino version of bahala na, like relying our circumstances or actions or results, outcomes, to fate or luck. And I don't want that. I'm not really fond of that. I'm not really a firm believer of that. Yes, yeah. I hope I'm making sense to you all, because this is just the introduction, because we're going to the part of unbalancing risk and letting go. Balancing risk and letting go. So yeah, I feel like I'm going to add an example here, but I'm thinking about, what if this person that I'm going to use as an example, what if I finally talk to him in the future and he saw this video? But I apologize if can letting go. Part two. Well, yes, as I said, and as I always believe, everything that is too much could cause an imbalance effect on our lives. Like for example, if I will always apply the same belief, like the same belief that I'm discussing earlier in the start, in the introduction, then I will just rely to the fact that I will just let things unfold without me putting the effort to for that to happen. If I wanted to have results or outcomes to a specific thing to happen. My point is, we as a human, we naturally fond of connections. We needed to work things out, be intentional, still try our best as much as possible. Then that's where the point where we can let things unfold. Knowing that you feel relieved because you finally take the risk. Or or you finally did your part and maybe for now that's enough, right? I don't know if you all are getting me, but I hope you all are getting me. I am not a fan of egoistic advice that's surfacing on the internet where if they wanted to, they would. Like, if they wanted to, they would. Like, the quote, if they wanted to, they would. It's just, I'm not really the. I. That quote doesn't really resonate with me because it promotes, in my own perception, it promotes this egoistic kind of vibe. Like, what if this person just wanted to connect with you genuinely and you're just there self sabotaging or sabotaging the connection because after all this time we're just afraid. Maybe after all this time that just your coping mechanism saying that if they wanted to they would, but you would. Do you would? Like, wrong grammar. Would you, right? That's the question to that code. Would you? Because if I were in your situation, I would. That code just doesn't sit right with me. It promotes pride and chase effect to the other person or people that just wanted to connect. After all, as I get older, and my frontal lobe developing, I can say that my mindset on this epiphany always changes, and I hope for the better and as authentic as I know. Third part is letting go are crucial for people, also for both company, for both people. Okay, let's use the example of if let's say I make the first move to this guy, but let's ignore the gender roles. Gender roles definition as me as a girl, we need to disregard the fact that you're the guy and you have the gender role to take the initiative to take a girl to a date. But that just doesn't resonate with me anymore. That's the one stereotype or stigma that's been going on still in our generation, where I believe that there's no gender role anymore, but I hope so because let's say if I am a girl and I first move to a guy. For me that's in my own perception, for me it's kind of giving girl boss because wow, you're so brave for doing that, right? Letting go are crucial for people. Let's say you take the initiative to connect with this guy that you like and it's obvious, right? And why I say letting go are crucial for people because from the fact that you take the risk connecting with that guy that you like, taking the initiative and effort and intention, maybe you think about it for like so long From the fact that you take the risk, it's the sign that you are so brave. And it's the part that you finally take your part. You already take your part, you already make your part, right? And after that, you needed to detach yourself from expectations, from attachments with that guy because you just don't know if you are both right for each other, compatible for each other, if, or let's say, you all are not really meant for each other. I mean, you know if you know, right? But at least from the fact that you do that risk, you are already winner there. I hope I'm making sense because I feel like there's a better way for me to explain this further. Maybe I'm just going to make another video, part two of this epiphany. Yeah. But yeah, my main point is you already take the part by taking risk, and you are now letting go from the attachment expectations, which is for me is beneficial for you as a girl and in the another company on him because you all are both just directing yourselves to the things, people, and circumstances that are really meant for the both of you. Am I like clear here? That's just that's it. And also that's why it's important to not force anything because there's just so much experiences that I've have in the past that I'm so eager and I'm so forceful with things, people, and circumstances to stay at my life. Then it cost me in the end because the universe, whatever you believe in, it doesn't matter if it's God, universe, or other terminologies that there is. For me, the universe is really removing things, people, and circumstances that wasn't really yours in the very first place. But you are the one that's forcing that, which is not beneficial and not good for us because it will cost you. You will realize that it will cost you. Okay, I'm going to add an example so it can be so specific and so effective. In the past, I am the type of person who, if I like somebody, I became obsessed with them, and I have this urge, like forceful urge to have them. It's, like you do realize that it's that kind of gesture, right? That wanting, that wanting them just to have them is kind of possessive, right? Which is not good, which is negative, which is toxic. But at that time, I don't realize it because I'm not still knowledgeable about it. But as the years goes by, I realize that when I am forcing people, things, and circumstances in my life, that's where the point where everything just goes wrong. Or maybe not goes wrong, right? Because it's actually the universe removing the things that wasn't really mine in the very first place. So I changed my terminologies on that, which is I call that now blessings in disguise. I know there's a lot of experiences, and I don't know your experiences, but for me, it's just blessings in disguise because the universe or whatever you believe in is actually just removing something out of your life for the better. for the better. And I know it's painful to, like, for example, to break up with your boyfriend, whatever, whenever, how long is the relationship going on. But maybe it's for the better. You do realize that, right? Yes, maybe it's for the better. Maybe there's something that is much better than that, or you needed to now realize that it's much more peaceful and bliss or amazing to be single for a while, because life does not really revolve on just finding romantic relationship. Maybe life is just about discovering oneself, discovering new things, new hobbies that you love, that you don't realize back then that you will love. And maybe, yeah, as the years goes by, to be optimistic, maybe you're going to meet the right guy for you. Like, right guy. But before you meet them, I want you all to realize that you all needed to build this kind of identity to yourself, like have this strong foundation of sense of self, because it's really relevant for your life. So yeah, that's it. I think I'm making a point here in the part of letting go are crucial for people. It's actually a blessing in disguise. If something doesn't really work for you, or a certain audition or certain work that you applying for rejects you, it's actually maybe a blessing is in disguise. I'm not manipulating here, because we need to see the bigger picture here. Like everything happens for a reason. There's a purpose in that. But if you are really eager to chase that dream, chase that people, chase that circumstances that you think is worth the risk or worth the chase, then go for it. I'm not here to fix or have fix. Oh no. I'm not here to dictate what or how you'll live your life, because I'm just giving advices, also in also in also deeply rooted from my own experiences. So it's still your responsibility if you're going to take that. Because that's me. If I read or if I hear a certain quote or advice from people, I'm really being cautious about it, because I'm always thinking or critically thinking or reflecting if am I going to really take this advice from this person? Like, do I really wanted the life that they have? Because if I wanted the life that they wanted, then I will take the advice that they were giving me. But if they don't have the life that I wanted, then why do I take the advice? Right? Be cautious. Not everything that you read or given to you, especially advices or words. Your just words are so powerful, influential. Don't take it. Don't take that easily. Be cautious, reflect on that, and think critically. Oh yeah, we are in the third part of this podcast, which is why taking risk makes you a winner already. Why taking risk is making makes you a winner already. The time is 10:11, but so yeah. Actually, I failed to tell you all the updates about my life so far, but we have this kind of presentation that's going on in the finals last week's, which is on purposive communication. And after that, we made our public speaking. Everyone had been, had been presented. Our classmate cheers us and says that you already win despite of all the results. Right? It resonates with me, this quote. You already win despite of the results. I'm making this a thumbnail because this is so influential and so strong. Music really resonates with me, actually, and I wanted to share this video. You already win despite of the results, and it resonates with me because there's a lot of times and circumstances where we overthink things if we do them well, if we do them better, if we do them excellently. To the point that if we don't do them better, or if we don't have or get the expectations that we expecting on that particular circumstances, then we are often or maybe always hard to ourselves, right? Because we're always having this kind of mindset that I should have done this better, but yo, you already win despite of the results. Whatever results of that, it always been subjective, especially in the public speaking that we do last weeks. It always been subjective because there's an audience who's going to grade you. There's teachers who are going to grade you, and even though the grading system is objective, it's still subjective for me. Don't argue with me in that part because they're just humans. They have this own perspective about things on how they will going to grade you. So my point is, I'm not going to say that don't be hard to yourself. I'm going to say that you should see your potential. You should see how far you become and compare your progress in your past progress. Which is wow, it's so easy to say, but I'm still practicing that these days because it is called imposter syndrome when you when people outside of yourself or there's external validations that's happening that's saying that you're doing better, right? You're doing better. Maybe you are doing better, right? But in your own perspective, you are not. And you have this mindset of you should have done way more better. You're not satisfied about the outcome. You should have done better. You're hard to yourself, or you don't deserve that phrase or result because you think it's just deeply rooted to luck or fate. It's a sign of imposter syndrome, which is, yeah, I kind of relate. That's why the next episode of this podcast is going to revolve around imposter syndrome and the definition, how I cope with it. But I'm not going to say that I've completely successfully overcome it, but I feel like that there's so much people that still have that, or they're not hyper aware that they have that, which is, it's just terminologies, but it really affects your life. It doesn't matter if it's academic academically academic or personal life in school. But yeah, that's the next episode for this podcast. So what's my closing quote and code is taking risk makes you a winner already because Hey, from the fact that you step or you go outside of your comfort zone is a win-win and deal in yourself. You already win because you're brave. You're allowing yourself for new experiences, whatever it is that you're planning to do. When you take risk, you already win based on my own experiences. Yeah, trust me, guys. I hope this episode, I think this is 30 minutes, 30 minutes. That's long, but I feel like that is so just short. I hope that this episode really resonates with y'all, and I'm really interested in what y'all think about this. And also, we're going to talk about the topic of imposter syndrome in the next episode. And if you have knowledge about it or if you relate, don't hesitate to talk because I reply to comments. And I'm going to consistently upload videos again a week, I promise, guys.